Hi, everybody, and welcome. Today, I'm sitting with Allison from Sodha Travel to talk all about India. Thanks, Allison, for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Anytime I can share India, then it's a great day.
Well, we love it. Thanks for being here. Let's just start with your connection to India and why you love sharing it.
Absolutely. So my love of India spans, almost 2 decades now. Growing up, I always had an affinity for the country, and I nurtured that curiosity by studying Indian religions and history in college, and that was my course of study. And after school, I ended up going to India and started to travel across the country. And I contributed my work to various international publications and then started writing for Little India, which was at the time the largest Indian publication outside of India that essentially was talking to the Indian diaspora. So I wrote for them. And during my travels, I was realizing that so much of the magic of India is not necessarily on the Golden Triangle or on, these other paths that were becoming very popular with big bus tours. And they were having a significant imprint of mass tourism, and it was really changing the landscape of India. So I decided that I was trying to decide, do I continue with my writing and my research? And instead, I said, I can do both. I can write, and I can also launch a travel company that specializes in the Indian subcontinent and South Asia, so that we can offer programs, whether they're small group, like for all of you, or whether it's tailor-made, that even if you visit the same destinations, you do it differently. And I know that sustainability is a buzzword that's thrown around a lot, but it's also important to be very aware of what that means, and especially as it relates to each individual country. And so we wanted to really create sustainable, thoughtful programs that included many destinations and experiences that were off of this tourist path. And meeting these people that I had the opportunity to meet on my various assignments, who really wanted this love of the country to extend to their communities. And so that I launched Sodha Travel back in 2007. So we just had our 15-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
And so it's been really, thank you. So since then, I've been really lucky to be the India correspondent for magazines like Afar, and I was the Delhi destination expert for Afar as well. I've been a local correspondent for various magazines and newspapers related to India. And then just earlier this year, I published my first book on India, which was a project aligned with Go Girl Guides with founder and editor Kelly Lewis. So that was also an incredible opportunity to showcase the country, hopefully in a way that really inspires and encourages people to experience India.
So cool. Well, we are excited for our legit trip, which is for the Diwali Festival. And can you share for people who maybe don't know what that is, more about the festival and kind of what they can expect about visiting India during that time?
Yeah, so Diwali is the Festival of Lights. It's the Hindu New Year, and it's one of the major celebrations of the year. And it's generally going to happen in October or November. And the dates are aligned with the lunar calendar, so they will adjust every year. But it's essentially a time that where good prevails over evil. People come together and celebrate light over darkness. Some of those, really, Diwali spans over several days. It's not just one day, even though many people consider the main celebration at the end of that, of those consecutive days. And so during the week, people will make sweets or go buy sweets. They will get their homes prepared. They will clean, go buy jewelry and new clothes. And then on the day of, they're going to light diyas or little lamps to put around their home. And that's going to invite Lakshmi, who's the goddess of wealth, and Ganesha, who is the remover of obstacles, the elephant-headed god. You're going to be inviting them that way and illuminating a path to your home, so that you also will receive blessings and wealth from the goddess and from Ganesha. And you can also make, rangolis or mandalas to welcome in, and you'll exchange sweets and eat a lot of good food. And a big part of Diwali is fireworks. So the firecrackers will be starting early on. Your group has the amazing, opportunity to celebrate this with a family. So you get to be in their home and experience it and be able to have those conversations and interactions and really feel like this is much more of an immersive and localized experience compared to viewing it as an outsider. So I'm really looking forward to all of you having this opportunity.
Yes, can't wait. So talking more about our itinerary then, what's maybe one or two things that you're most excited about for our guests? I'm excited about the homestay and getting to celebrate the festival with a family and really have the local experience. What else would you say are one or two things you're most excited about for our trip?
So one of the first ones would be your trip up to Haridwar and that area, because so Haridwar is a pilgrimage destination on the Ganges River, and so you get to have a lot more of that spiritual resonance and that religiosity that is so important. You know, in India, really, there's no separation between religion and culture; it is all integrated. And the reason why I personally encourage travelers to visit Haridwar and Rishikesh is many people have heard of Varanasi, also known as Banaras or Kashi. And you see the videos of the Aarti ceremony and the Ghats. However, Varanasi has in recent years become so overdeveloped, and there's so many big bus tours that the only way I can really describe it is, to me, it's almost become a spiritual Disneyland. When you go down to the Ghats to experience the Aarti ceremony, there are vendors now selling t-shirts and keychains. And to me, it even gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, because it completely detracts from what the reason is for people to visit this holy destination. So instead, you get to go up to Haridwar and Rishikesh, which is also a pilgrimage destination. It's also on the Ganges River, but because it's up in the foothills of the Himalayas, it's closer to the source. And so the river moves quicker and it's considerably cleaner. You don't have that impact of mass tourism. You also have a lot of properties that are run by local families, as opposed to hotels in Varanasi that have been bought up from really large corporations or chains. So you're generating and regenerating those funds back into the local community. I also like Haridwar and Rishikesh because when you go down for the Aarti ceremony in the evening, when you go to visit the Ghats, when you go to experience these temples and these other, ceremonies that you'll get to see, it's very authentic. It's really just the locals that are there. It's very rare to see a large amount of foreigners there because a lot of them just aren't familiar with it. And so that for your group, I'm really excited about, because often our clients always say that Aarti ceremony is an absolute highlight of their trip, and they didn't even realize it. They did not even know it existed, but it really is special. One of the other ones is when in India, the custom rickshaw experience in Old Delhi. And this is not your standard guidebook rickshaw tour. This is with a friend of ours, and her name is Ritu. So you're supporting a woman-owned organization and a trailblazer who has these roots in Delhi and has made an incredible impact in this community of Old Delhi. And so you get to go out with her, and she's going to take you out and show you a side of this part of India's capital that you would not see otherwise. And Ritu herself, her personality, her knowledge, and her passion for Old Delhi and for Chandni Chowk and the Havelis and the eateries, it really is just a magical, magical experience. So I think those are the two that stand out for me.
That's amazing. We love meeting and supporting local entrepreneurs. We are entrepreneurs ourselves, and we just think that's like always the best way to see a place. So I'm excited for that as well. So what would you say if someone was traveling to India for the first time? Maybe they're a little uncertain or hesitant, they don't know what to expect. How would you help them prepare for maybe signing up for this trip to India? Like, what should they expect? Are there any tips?
Yeah. So if you are a female planning to join this trip, go by Go Girl Guides India, and you'll have lots of information there. It's also for men as well. I mean, we have experiences and suggestions that are tailored exclusively for women, but really the guidebook offers information for anybody. So I think one of the big things with India is everyone has an opinion, right? India is one of those destinations that really sparks a conversation, and people are either very hesitant, or they're concerned, or they question, is it safe? Am I going to become sick? Is it going to become overwhelming? And I think that there is a very big difference between statistics and sensationalism. And so I often talk about the difference between the two. Being prepared is important, but you need to understand the difference between discomfort and danger. And I think that's a fundamental part of India is, will you be uncomfortable at times? Maybe. I mean, I've been to the country 30 plus times in various capacities. I've lived over there for some time, but have I ever felt truly threatened? No, I have not. And as a foreign woman, I say that with confidence and with certainty that understanding your destination and some of these cultural nuances, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in danger. It just, for example, people in India like to stare. It's not because they're threatening, they're curious. And once you're able to understand that and change that narrative, you don't feel as uncomfortable, perhaps, or outside of your comfort zone, or it helps the transition a little bit more. So I think with India, I always encourage people to not to read too much before they go, because I feel like so much of your experience is going to be far beyond what you even think it will be. And to just allow it to happen, if just you kind of ease into it, the more that you resist in India, what resist persists. So whatever you resist in India, it's going to be coming back at you, and you are going to experience things that are beyond anything that you've experienced in other destinations, but that's what makes it so special.
Yeah, I love that. We travel to seek discomfort, right? I mean, it is for me anyway, but we always try to be cognizant of the fact that people might think vacation is pina coladas on the beach, and we try to prepare people the best that we can for the type of trip that might fit them best. So India is the best type of trip for what kind of person? Like the curious, the adventure,
foodie.
Foodie.
Yes.
Good.
It is for absolutely someone who is looking for the cradle of civilization coming to life. And with that means it's going to be an adventure. Traveling in India, even planned, and you have the best guides and drivers and transportation, you're going to come across some things that will just blow your mind. And so that's why also, your accommodations, although they're not exclusively luxury, but they're very nice properties, because in India, you want to come home at the end of the day to a place where you can truly relax and rejuvenate so that you're prepared for the next day. So I think that India is for everybody, really, because there truly is something for everyone. And that's the thing. It's all about how you experience the country. But we've had people travel, as young as 1 month and as old as 98. And all of them have had, really great experiences. But you need to be open to understanding that it is going to be unlike anywhere else, and be prepared for that in the best way possible.
In the best way. I love it. Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience before we wrap it up?
Well, once this group is all ready to go, I'd love to come back on and offer, more information, a call with them so I can answer questions in a group setting. If you want to, you can always reach out, if you have questions about things ranging from currency to, cultural curiosities to food and water and how to be safe when you're there, and all of those little details, I'd be happy to answer. But I think one of the biggest things is to just jump in and be ready for probably one of the most incredible experiences of your life.
Well, I couldn't be any happier to have an India expert in our corner who I trust and respect so greatly. I've wanted to go to India for a really long time. And even as an avid traveler, it has seemed like one of those destinations that was just out of my reach to go by myself, or even to just go with a friend who didn't know anything. So I feel like we have this great advantage to have your many, many trips and years of experience and local connections and guidance. And I do think it is the best way to do it. So I'm just so excited for our guests, and I just appreciate you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And I'm so excited for your group to experience India during Diwali, one of the most festive and vibrant times of the year. I mean, experiencing that festival is really the cherry on top.
Love it. Oh my goodness. Well, we have a few spots available still, so hopefully this will help people decide if it's right for them, and we'll get you back on when we have our full guest list. But thanks so much and have a great day.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.